Parents in child abuse cases to attend counselling. 2 men missing when kayak overturned near Port Dickson. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohan Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Parents involved in cases of child abuse may be compelled to attend counselling sessions and parenting courses once they have served their sentences, if convicted. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Sri Rohani Abdul Karim said the move was aimed at ensuring that such cases would not recur, besides serving as a lesson to the parents. Commenting on the case of a 10-year-old boy who was found chained to a cooking gas cylinder in Bandar Indrama Kota, Kuantan recently, Datuk Sri Rohani said the occurrence of such cases has made her more determined to go down to the ground and give lectures to parents.
Dan possibility saya nak mewajibkan kursus kepada ibu bapa. Now things like this, why is done like this, once they submit, first, of course, the normal hukum and denda, next they have to undergo parenting courses and counselling.
She said this to reporters after officiating the Pink Wigathon Charity Run 2017, organised by Pink Ribbon Wellness Foundation at the Perdana Botanical Gardens in Kuala Lumpur in conjunction with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In a related development, the 10-year-old boy who was chained to a cooking gas cylinder and beaten by his stepfather managed to meet his biological father last night. Pahang Women, Family Development, Communications and Multimedia Committee Chairman Dato Shahaniza Shamsuddin said that the father, aged 36, who lives in Malacca, arrived in Kuantan last night to meet with his son. In respect to their privacy, the meeting between the father and son was held behind closed doors. The biological father later stated his willingness to take care of his son forthwith. The boy wept as he wanted very much to follow his father back to Malacca. However, Dato Shahaniza explained that the matter must be decided in court after the Social Welfare Department completes its report. The boy will be temporarily placed under the care of GKM until the matter is concluded. A woman in Limbang has allegedly forced her 14-year-old daughter into prostitution to settle the former's mounting debts. Sarawak CID Chief Datuk Dave Kumar said initial police investigations revealed the victim, a school dropout who worked as a waitress at a karaoke lounge in Lawas, was forced to offer sex to a man since April. Datuk Dave said for her services, the girl was paid a sum of money via a karaoke lounge owner, whereby parts of the money was handed over to the victim's mother. Datuk Dave said since April, the teenager was forced to sleep with the man in return for money on 3 occasions. He said following the victim's report at the Lawas police station yesterday, police arrested her 30-year-old mother. He added that about 3 p.m. yesterday, police also nabbed a 45-year-old karaoke lounge owner in Jalan Haji Matusin, Lawas. Datuk Dave said police were in the midst of identifying and tracking down the man who solicited sexual services from the victim for allegedly raping the teenager. 2 men are feared to have drowned when their kayak overturned at Tanjung Tuan Beach, Port Dickson, yesterday. The Kuala Lingi District Maritime of the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, in a statement said a search and rescue operation had been mounted for the 2 men identified as Hugh Yung Lung, 61, and Liao Shak Kwan, 54, both from Shah Alam, Selangor. MMEA said the 2 victims were with a third person, Fu Siu Wan, 54, also from Shah Alam, heading to Blue Lagoon when the incident happened at about 4 p.m. Fu managed to arrive in her kayak at Blue Lagoon at about 7:30 p.m. The MMEA, in a search and rescue mission, deployed its Petir 84 boat to the location where the victims were last seen. The search and rescue operation, which began at 4 p.m., yielded no results. And as at 8:30 p.m., the 2 victims have yet to be found. The trial of the 2 women accused of killing the estranged half-brother of North Korea's leader entered its 2nd week today, with the court moving temporarily to a high-security laboratory to view evidence contaminated with VX nerve agent. The judge, prosecutors, defense lawyers and the Indonesian and Vietnamese suspects visited the lab for chemical weapons analysis to examine samples of the women's clothing before they are formally submitted as evidence. The decision came after a government chemist, Dr. Raja Subramaniam, told the court last week the VX found on the clothing may still be active. Dr. Raja added that VX was found on the women's clothing as well as on Kim Jong-nam's face, eyes, clothing and in his blood and urine samples. VX is banned by an international treaty as a weapon of mass destruction, but is believed to be part of North Korea's chemical weapons arsenal. Duan Thi Huong of Vietnam and Siti Aisyah of Indonesia pleaded not guilty at the start of their trial last week to charges of murder that carry a mandatory death sentence if they are convicted. Education Minister Datuk Sri Madsari Khalid said his ministry is ready to collaborate with all parties to find the best way to address drug abuse among school students. Datuk Sri Madsari said Deputy Home Minister Datuk Nur Jazlan Mohamad was right to raise the alarm when he said that students in 420 schools nationwide are at high risk of serious drug abuse, and if the situation is ignored, the drug addiction problem would worsen, making it difficult to control.
Jadi kita nak dapat maklumat lanjut lah daripada beliau nanti tentang kedudukan itu, dan kita bersedia untuk bekerjasama dalam apa juga aspek yang membolehkan kita mengurangkan masalah yang melibatkan penyalahgunaan dadah di kalangan para pelajar.
Speaking to reporters after visiting a mushroom farm in Padang Terap, Kedah, Datuk Sri Madsari said a random screening of 36,675 students in 2015 found that 1,475 tested positive for drugs. Of the total, 1,075 students, or 73%, tested positive for amphetamine-type stimulants, while the rest were positive for ganja-related drugs. He said his ministry was not giving up the fight against drug abuse and will continue to implement programs to curb the menace. He added that the ministry has the list of schools involved and are working with the police on a continuous basis. The Health Ministry is calling on more people from the young generation to pledge their organs during the ongoing Organ Donation Awareness Campaign Week. Deputy Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Hilmi Yahya said currently 397,476 people, or 1.2% of the country's total population, had registered as organ donors, with 60.9% of them aged 18 years and above. Datuk Sri Dr. Hilmi said the young generation should be the ones being ahead of others in the matter of organ donation, as it would be easier for them to understand the process and procedures due to the continuous campaign drive on organ donation and transplantation carried out by the government.
Masih lagi kurang kesedaran di kalangan masyarakat Malaysia, khasnya orang muda. Kita nak supaya mereka tampil ke depan untuk dikral.
He said this after flagging off participants of the Let's Save Lives event held in conjunction with the launching of the National Level Organ Donation Awareness Campaign Week in Putrajaya. Explanations need to be given to the young in order to correct their perception about politics and to avoid them from remaining politically passive. UMNO Treasurer and Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Saleh Said Kerouat, in his latest posting on sskerouat.blogspot.com, expressed sadness over statistics from the Election Commission, which showed that more than 4 million Malaysians have not registered as voters, with the majority of them aged 21 years. Datuk Sri Dr. Saleh also quoted the Merdeka Centre survey, which found the young being politically passive due to a number of factors, including being too busy with work, fed up with the political games of the elders, their distrust of politicians, and their feeling that voting would bring them no benefit. He said that another study done by researchers from University Kebangsaan Malaysia also added to the above, which stated that young people were disinterested in politics because they felt that their interests were being neglected by politicians. Therefore, he said political parties should come forward to campaign to get the young to be politically active, because the country needed young people for its future success, as young souls are strong, energetic and visionary souls. Today marks the first day of the Form 3 assessment examination, PT3, with 425,251 candidates, which will end on Thursday. On his Twitter page, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak expressed his well wishes to the students sitting for the exam. This year, 394,458 candidates are from the public secondary school, while 10,949 candidates are from private schools, which registered with the Education Ministry. The PT3 started in 2014, replacing the Penilaian Menengah Rendah (PMR) or Lower Secondary Assessment Examination. Coming up next, the government will do all in its power to help the Indian community. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak said the government's assistance to the Indian community was based on nambike or trust, and that all Malaysians should be treated fairly. Datuk Seri Najib also pointed out that the government was committed to help the Indian community and that it was not vitti pece or empty talk, but nijam or the truth.
Kita bukan janji-janji kosong, tetapi kita ada perancangan, kita ada jentera dan kita ada struktur dan mekanisme untuk menolong masyarakat kaum India.
Datuk Seri Najib added that the government has allocated 1.2 billion ringgit for microcredit facilities to Indian borrowers and 700 more places for Indian students in public universities. He also said that Indian students would have suffered if the meritocracy system for university intake was not relaxed. He said this when closing the 25th IPF General Assembly at Malaysia Agriculture Expo site in Serdang, Selangor. About 6 billion ringgit has been allocated by the government for 120 People's Housing Projects, PPR, with 83,759 units completed throughout the country. National Housing Department JPN Director General Jayasilan K. Navaratnam said 41 PPR projects with 15,327 units were under construction, while 23 projects with 10,066 units were still in the pipeline. Jayasilan said Sabah has the most number of PPR housing projects implemented by JPN with 26,199 units of low-cost houses. He said the implementation of PPR depends on several factors, including high demand from the people in the area, applications from the state government to obtain low-cost housing, as well as targeted at those living in squatter areas and low-income earners with household income not exceeding 3,000 ringgit per month. Jayasilan added that all PPR projects involved two types, PPR for rent at only 124 ringgit a month and PPR to own that can be purchased at 35,000 ringgit per unit in Peninsular Malaysia and 42,000 ringgit per unit in Sabah and Sarawak.